to issue, suspended, revoke, or reinstate the certificate of registration of the registered criminologist or cancel temporarily, especially permit granted to foreigner criminologists. The board control who gets to be licensed criminologists. They can give license to qualified individuals. If someone mess up, the board can suspend or revoke their license. They also have the power to reinstate license it deserved and cancel permits for foreigner criminologists.
I. To administer oaths and the performance of its functions such as, but not limited to, the oath of a professional to successful examination for criminologists together with the IAPO and an appropriate mass oath taking ceremony to be held for the purpose. Ang meaning day sa APO kaya accredited professional organization mo na yung meaning.
To monitor the condition affecting the practice of criminology and whenever necessary, adopt such measure as may be deemed proper for the enhancement of the profession and the maintenance of high professional, ethical and technical standards. For this purpose, the members of the board, duty authorized by the Commission, may conduct ocular inspection of establishment where criminology is practiced and recommend sanction as it may deem proper to the appropriate government agencies concerned. Example, this section states that the board is responsible for monitoring the practice of criminology and ensuring it maintains high professional, ethical, and technical standards. When necessary, it can implement measures to improve the profession, conduct inspection of establishment where criminology is practiced, and recommend sanction to the proper government agencies if violations are found. In addition, this provision strengthens accountability within the criminology profession by allowing the board to directly assist real-world practices and address any issues that may arise. Through regular monitoring and inspections, the board not only uphold quality standards but also promote continuous improvement, ensuring that criminology practice with integrity, competence, and adherence to ethical norms for the benefits of society.
So, one of the board's big jobs is making sure criminology programs in colleges are actually good. It's all about quality control. Basically, the board checks if these schools are following the rules and meeting the standards. They look at a few key things. Teachers, are the proofs qualified and experienced? Labs, do they have the right equipment for hands-on learning? Libraries, are there enough books and resources? Facilities, is the school a good place to learn? If a school isn't up to par, the board can recommend sanctions to CHED or other government offices. This pushes the schools to improve.
L. To her and investigate cases on violation of this act. It's implementing rules and regulation, IRR, the code of ethics, the code of good governance, and other policies. And for this purpose, to issue summons, subpoena, and ad testificandum and subpoena diocesticum to allege violation and or witnesses to compel their attendance in such hearings or investigation and the production of documents in connection therewith.
So, I'm going to explain how the board handles cases when someone messes up in criminology. And it's all about this thing called delegation. Basically, the board can pass on the job of investigating or hearing a case to the commission. It's like saying, hey, can you take care of this one? This helps them handle more cases faster. But here's the catch. If that's the case, it's all about the technical stuff. Like, did someone screw up a crime scene investigation or mess up with the evidence wrong? Then at the least one member of the board has to be there. They're the experts. So they need to make sure things are done right. Plus, there's always a lawyer or someone from the commission helping out to make sure everything is legal and fair. So, why do they do this? It's faster. The commission can handle more cases if the board delegates. It's smarter. The board experts gets involved when it's about technical stuff. It's fairer. Everyone gets a fair hearing because there's a lawyer involved. Basically, the board delegates to be efficient, but they can also make sure their experts are there when it really matters, especially if it's about the core criminology stuff. Okay, so the board also has to deal with the serious stuff, like when someone breaks the law. If they find someone doing something that's a criminal violation of any act, rules, or other laws, they don't handle it directly. Instead, they tell the commission to send the case to the prosecution office or another government agency. Basically, the board flags the serious criminal stuff and passes it on to the people who can handle investigate and who can actually investigate and take action. This makes sure that the real bad stuff gets handled by the right people.
To disqualify applicants for the licensure examination who has been previously convicted of a crime with finality involving moral turpitude. Here undecide administrative causes against the examinees or registered criminologists if they have been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, provided that if they are found guilty, the board shall cancel their examination papers and or preclude them from taking another licensure examination, or to revoke suspended their certificates of registration and cause the surrender of their professional identification and subject to the rules and regulation of the PRC, provided further that the decision of the board shall, unless appealed to the commission, become final and executory after 15 days from receipt or notes of judgment or decision. Example: this section states that applicants or registered criminologists who have been convicted of crime involving moral turpitude can be disqualified from taking the licensure examination or punished if already licensed. The board has the authority to hear and decide such cases, and if proven guilty, it can cancel exam results, prevent future exam attempts, or revoke suspended licenses and ID cards. Following PRC rules, decision become final after 15 days unless appealed to the commission. This provision emphasizes the importance of upholding integrity and moral character in the criminology profession. as those convicted of crime involving moral turpitude and considered unfit to practice, by setting clear consequences such as disqualification, suspension, or revocation of licenses. It protects the credibility of the profession and ensures that only individuals with good moral standing are allowed to serve as criminologists, thereby safeguarding public trust and maintaining professional standards.
To conduct through the legal hearing of officer. Summary providings against the examiners who commit violation of this act. It's IRR. Any of the codes aforementioned, this including violation of the general instruction, the examine and the render summary judgment theory, which shall unless applied to commission become final and executory after 15 days from receipt of notice of judgment.
So every year, the board has to do a year-end report. Think of it like a summary of everything they've been working on. Basically, they write up what they've accomplished in terms of programs, projects, and activities. It's like a list of all the cool stuff they've done to help the criminology professions. This report then goes to the commission, but it's not just a list of achievements. The board also uses this report to point out any issues or problems that are affecting criminology. Like if there's something that's making it harder for criminologists to do their jobs, they'll mention it in the report. They can also make recommendation to the commission. So if they have any ideas on how to fix these problems or make things better for criminologists, they put those suggestions in the report too. So, in a nutshell, the board year ends report is a way for them to say, here's what we did, here are the problems we see, and here are the ideas for fixing them.
To exercise such other powers, as many as provided by law as well as those which may be implied from, or which are incidental or necessary to the effective carrying out of the express power granted to the board to achieve the objective and purpose of this act. The resolution, rules, and regulation of other pollution issues are promoted by the board shall be projected to review and approval by the commission. The board has the power to handle this issue affecting the criminologists, even if it's not directly mentioned in the law. This includes any action needed to achieve the goal of the law. However, all rules and policies made by the board must be checked and approved by the commission. This ensures the following the law and acting appropriately. The board has the power to handle the issue affecting criminologists even if it's not directly mentioned in the law. This includes any action to achieve the goals of the law. However, all rules policies might be the board must be checked and approved by the commission. These ensure the following and law and acting appropriately.